about reflection of light, but we'll be considering refraction. Fine. Now, refraction of light. We know that light always travels in a straight line. Fine. This phenomena or this property of light is known as linear propagation of light. But when light passes from one medium to another medium to second medium, the light changes its direction. We have seen in our everyday life a lot many phenomena that confuse us as to how and why it happened. For example, we see that if we place a coin in a glass full of water, then that coin appears to be raised. We have seen that if we put a pencil or a pen in a glass of water, that appears to be bent. Why did that happen? It was all because of this particular word called refraction of light, and that is what we are going to study in this particular chapter. Before understanding it, we need to know that when we are talking about different media, plural of medium, then in different mediums the speed of light is different. We must know that the speed of light in air and vacuum is taken to be 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Actually, this is the speed of light in vacuum, and there is just a very slight variation in air. So we take same speed both as in air as well as in vacuum. But when light enters water, its speed changes and it becomes 2.25 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. In glass, even though there are different types of glass, but as a whole, generalized, in glass, the speed becomes 2 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Fine. Now, seemingly they appear to be very less differentiated. But actually when we see in bigger terms, like I can write this thing as 3 lakh kilometers per hour, per second, sorry. And this speed in glass is 2 lakh kilometers per second. I am talking about a difference of 1 lakh kilometer per second. The same thing happens when light enters from one medium to another, because when it moves from one medium to another, then there is a huge sudden change and difference in the speed of light. Fine. This is what we will be studying in this particular chapter. Now, we have seen the speed of light in different media. When I compare two media, for example, I compare air and water, I see that the speed of light in air is more and the speed of light in water is less. So when I will compare two media, the medium in which the speed of light is more, that medium is known as optically rarer medium. Whereas the medium in which speed of light is less, that medium is called optically denser medium. Now, one thing we need to remember is we cannot say that water is optically denser medium always. Two medium are when compared, only then we can relate out of these two which is optically rarer and which is optically denser. For example, as compared to air, or let us say vacuum, now water is optically denser medium because speed of light in water is lesser as compared to the speed of light in air. But when I compare the speed of light in water and glass, now I can see that among water and glass, the speed of light is more in water and less in glass. Therefore, among these two media, water and glass, I say that in water the speed of light is more, so water is optically rarer medium as compared to glass. So you can differentiate very well. Over here water was denser medium, fine. Over here water is rarer medium, just because we are comparing here it with air and here with glass. One quite important thing, when we are talking about denser medium and rarer medium, we are not actually talking about the mass density. I am not saying that this medium is thicker or denser. I am talking about optically rarer and optically denser. We are just relating it with the speed of light. So we have a basic idea of optically rarer medium and optically denser medium, right? Now, let us do an activity. What I will do is, I will take a glass slab. Fine, this is a medium which is glass. A ray of light is coming from another medium, that is air. Right? Now when at this particular point this ray of light will enter glass, its direction, its path will be changed. Actually it should have gone straight, but because of this glass it won't. Why? Because now air and glass have different optical density. Air is rarer medium and glass is denser medium. This ray of light which is coming is called incident ray. Fine. The point at which it strikes the glass is known as point of incidence. Right? Now, we know that when it will go from one medium to another, it will bend. Now, the bending can take place in two ways. Either it will bend like this or it will bend like this. But that is for sure that it is not going to go straight. Fine? Now, there is a rule governing this particular thing as to where exactly it will bend. The rule says that if I draw a perpendicular here at the point of incidence, fine, then the rule says that if a ray of light is going from rarer to denser medium, it will bend towards normal. And if the ray of light is going from denser to rarer medium, the opposite will happen. That is, it will bend away from the normal. Now let us relate it in the figure. This was the point of incidence. This is a normal that I had drawn. Right? This is rarer medium, this is denser medium. So when the ray of light was coming from rarer to denser medium, it may go this way or this way, but as per the rule what we have studied is it will bend towards the normal. Means the actual path was this, normal is this, so it will bend towards the normal. So this will be the ray's path now. This ray which gets deviated or bent, we call it refracted ray. Fine? Now, this ray of light once again will move out of this medium glass and again it will go to air, which is again rarer medium. Now it will again bend. Fine? And this time, once again at this point, we will draw a normal. It should have gone this way, but actually it will bend now away from the normal because it is going from denser to rarer medium. So it will go away from the normal. Right? So we have seen lot many things in this particular figure. Just try to understand. We have taken a medium air from which a ray of light was coming. It was entering the medium glass and then again it was going into the air. Fine. So what we can relate is the ray of light was moving from rarer medium to denser and then again to rarer. Fine. This is the ray of light we are talking about. We called it incident ray. At this particular point of incidence, we drew a normal or a perpendicular. Now, the actual path of ray should have been this dotted line. Fine. Had there been no glass slab, it should have gone straight. But because of this glass slab, it will bend. The bending, we know the rule that it will bend towards the normal, and the reason for it is that it is going from rarer to denser medium. This bent ray of light, we called it refracted ray. Fine. Again, when it is going from glass to air, it will again bend. So again we will form a normal over here, and then we saw that the rule applicable is it will bend away from the normal. Now this ray which emerges from the glass slab is known as emergent ray. So we have the three names of the same particular ray of light: incident ray, refracted ray and emergent ray. Now the angle between the incident ray and the normal is termed as angle of incidence. Fine. The angle between normal and the refracted ray is termed as angle of refraction, and the angle of emergent ray with the normal is known as angle of emergence. Fine. Clear? Now, this emergent ray which is emerging from the glass slab is parallel to the actual path of ray of light. Why is it so? The reason is the angle of incidence and the angle of emergence are same. In layman terms, we say that with parallel normals, the angle of deviation is same. Therefore, these two lines also become parallel. But of course, there is a deviation of this ray of light from its actual path, and this deviation, this distance by which it is displaced, is known as lateral displacement. So there are a few things that we have written on the screen right now. Let us understand each and everything once again. This was the incident ray, the ray of light coming. It entered the glass slab and then it bent from its actual path. The bent ray of light is the refracted ray. Then again when it emerged from the glass slab, this ray of light will be called emergent ray. This is angle of incidence, that is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. This is angle of refraction, that is the angle between the refracted ray and the normal. This is angle of emergence, that is the angle between the emergent ray and the normal. Fine. Next, we talked about lateral displacement. How will define lateral displacement? It is the displacement or deviation of the ray of light from its actual path if it goes through a glass slab. Got it? So this will basically give you an idea as to why a ray of light bends. Because of the different media. It would have been glass, it would have been water, any particular media. And now we can explain a few observations that we have talked about earlier. That is, when we put a coin in a glass of water, it appears to be raised. Why it happens? Let us see. This was a container or a glass of water. I have put in water into it. When I have put a coin over here, then in that case, now the rays of light which are coming from this particular coin, at this juncture, they will be going from this medium water to the medium air. Fine. Now, as compared to water, air is rarer medium, water is denser medium. So, we have just studied that whenever ray of light will go from denser to rarer, it will move away from the normal rather than going straight. They will bend. And when we extend these lines, so these lines appear to meet here, so I will have a virtual image of this coin raised in the glass of water. Fine. Similarly, when I talked about a container containing water. Alright, I have inserted a pencil or a pen or a marker or a stick, anything. Fine, this is a one-piece marker. This is not broken, not bent, perfectly fine, but because of the same reason, it will appear to us to be bent. How? Same fundamental. Now the ray of light was actually going from water to air. So when it bends away, when we extend it, we will see the image of this particular part here, and we will find that this particular part that is immersed in water, that appears to be bent. The reason for both the things are that it is because of refraction of light. Because the light ray is going from a denser medium to a rarer medium, from one medium to another, due to which it bends and hence cause this illusion. Right? Another observation from our day-to-day life is that when we put a lemon in glass of water, if we look from the sides, then we will see it appears to be bigger. Same reason, same reason, because of refraction. Correct? You must have visited swimming pools. Now, it is a normal phenomena that the swimming pools appear to be less deep than they actually are. Let us see. This is the actual depth of the swimming pool. Fine. The ray of light which are going from this actual bottom, when they go from water to air, again they will bend away from the normal. When we will extend these, the image will be formed here. So for us, the apparent depth, the depth which will be visible to us will be this, and the actual depth was this. So there is a difference between it, and we say that the swimming pools are deeper than what they actually appear to be. So these are all based on the phenomena of refraction of light. Got it? Now we have seen that when light ray passes from one medium to another, it will bend, but there is an exception. The exception is that if a ray of light is coming perpendicular, in that case it will go straight, it will not bend from its path. Right? So you need to remember that if a ray of light is falling perpendicularly or normally on a glass slab, it will not bend, it will go straight. Fine? Just